I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Rahu is about to make its biggest move. It's going to move out of the fiery zodiac sign of Aries, cross the Gandanta of Aries and Pisces zodiac, go in the reverse direction from Aries to Pisces, and cross the Gandanta boundary of Ashwini and Revati nakshatra. Right now Rahu is in the Gandanta pada, inching towards that Gandanta zone, which is basically a zone where the fire and water zodiacs meet. It's not a simple transit. It is a regular one. It happens every 18 years since the planets or Jyotish has existed. But every 18 years, this Rahu transit is like a grand reset. Two most important transits. One, the transit of Rahu, which happens every 18 years. And then the transit of Saturn, which happens every 30 years when it crosses the zodiac sign of Pisces and Aries, actually defines the course of humanity. It may bring back the old flavor or break down the already existing rituals and laws to create for a new construction. Totally depends on what's happening around Rahu and Ketu, what is happening at that particular point of time. Rahu came back 18 years ago in the sign of Pisces. It's once again coming back to the sign of Pisces. It has completed the 12 zodiac cycle. Rahu, which is always retrograde along with Ketu, will cover the zodiac sign from Pisces, retrograding to Aquarius, then Capricorn, and then it will come finally to Aries, which is in fact the final frontier for Rahu. And when Rahu is in Aries, it is all about fire. It is all about aggression. It is all about building and defining territories. Rahu has its own mindset. Rahu is basically an electromagnetic force. It's also the power of technology, which is extremely relevant in modern day and age. But what happens when Rahu crosses this? All the fire of Aries goes away in Pisces. Pisces is the cosmic ocean. And the first nakshatra Rahu encounters is of Revati. Now the most unique part of Rahu transit in Pisces zodiac sign is that Rahu, which was very much concentrated in Aries, just like, determined force, as soon as it enters Pisces, all the energy kind of dissipates. It fades away, as if Rahu has lost its existence. And that is the time when the benefic Rahu, that means the benefic or the benevolent, positive aspects of Rahu can be drawn from the energies that are relevant for today. We all underestimate Rahu a lot. We all claim that Rahu is an Asura, but we forget that Rahu is one of the Navagraha. That means we live because of Rahu and other 8 planets. So never underestimate the true potential that Rahu can bring. Let me give you that with an example. Imagine you have to explore Moon and Mars. What will the astronauts and what will the scientists do? They will build a rocket. They will build a rocket, understand the technology, shoot the man into space. The man will conquer the frontiers of the space and come back. Is this organic? Is this available on trees? Is this technology written on stones? No. It is a part of Maya, but a very different aspect of Maya. This is artificial. Now, in order to build a rocket, you need construction material, you need fuel. Where will the fuel come from? From the very planet that you are in right now. Just that the form of the materials will change, it will be transformed artificially and created according to the rules of science. And that kind of breaches certain boundaries and helps you breach the boundary of Earth, helping you to gain the escape velocity, and you exit out of the planet. Is that exit bad? Are satellites that are revolving around the Earth bad? You're watching this video and I'm able to upload this video because of these scientific achievements. Yes, scientific achievements are also the achievements of Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Sun, all other planets. But the moment something extraordinary has to happen, somebody must break the barrier, and Rahu is a force that helps you break the barrier. But the question arises, why are you breaking the barrier? If the motive, if the interest of breaking the barrier is positive, it is for Lok Kalyan, that means for the benefit of mankind, it becomes a scientific achievement, it becomes a medical marvel. But the moment it becomes negative, it becomes attack on each other, wars, war crimes, fighting with each other. And when Rahu is crossing Aries, it may be a desperation to execute your mind on a day-to-day activities and also on a geopolitical scale, because once Rahu enters Pisces, this power, this force will dissolve. Couple of reasons. For Pisces, as soon as Rahu crosses the 30-degree mark and it reaches that point of deep exaltation of Venus, Rahu, which behaves like the zodiac lord and the energies relevant to that particular zodiac, will no longer have Martian energy, rather will try to disguise in the form of Jupiter and Venus. See, Pisces is a very interesting zodiac sign. It is ruled by Jupiter, and it is a place where Venus gets exalted. That means a place of eternal bliss, supreme love, selfless sacrifice, good for all. A place where you are isolated but you are happy. That is why Venus gets exalted in this place in spite of it being the 12th house. Well, houses of Jyotish, be it 6th, 8th or 12th, are heavily misunderstood or misinterpreted. But as you go up and up and up, as you ascend on the ladder of understanding, you realize that nothing is black or white, everything are different shades of grey. So when you reach the zodiac sign of Pisces, you actually discover eternal bliss. You discover surrender. You discover that you have lost yourself into the cosmic ocean, and now you are now connected to Bhagwan Mahavishnu. It is like Vaikuntha Lok. So when Rahu goes there, it has to surrender. Rahu now takes the shape of someone who wants to do lot of things but can't, because of the sheer presence of and sheer enormous nature of the zodiac itself. It's like, if I have to compare it with an earth reference, it's a Pacific Ocean. It is full of secrets. We don't even know what is in the Pacific Ocean. Rahu can help you discover. underwater discoveries, new technology, all that is possible when Rahu enters Pisces zodiac sign. But as Rahu will enter, immediately it is not going to surrender. There will be a lot of noise, desperation, chaos, restlessness. And see, what does the Rahu see first? Rahu see the exaltation point of Venus. So the first thing that Rahu will do is to acquire the nature of Venus, that exaltation. But see, if Venus has to get exalted, Venus has to travel all the way from zodiac 1 to zodiac 11 and then from 0 degree of Pisces all the way to 27 degree. Venus with each degree in Pisces drops the desire, drops the tamasic, drops the mundane and try to be more and more involved with devotion, bhakti. Venus is more into surrender, and that is why Venus, when it reaches at 27 degrees of Pisces, it has lost almost all of its negative and material Maya related aspect, and therefore it becomes exalt. So Venus has done lot of work. Rahu is entering from the opposite side. Rahu is trying to acquire a shortcut. So a lot of people will try to apply shortcut for success. And the moment you do that, and maybe few of you will be successful. Well, in order to prove the point, Rahu will have to give success to some. It is like lottery. Couple of people will win. Rahu will advertise, see it works, and lot of people will go in herd and try to acquire that. Which means immediately we can see lot of disturbance throughout the world, food crisis. We can see resource mismanagement. We can see people losing money, greed being prevalent, because Rahu still holds that negative emotion from the Aries. And also, Ketu on the other side, I will make another video on Ketu. Ketu on the other side is in the Virgo zodiac sign. What is Virgo? Virgo is all about mathematical calculation. Virgo is also about healing, as is Pisces. Virgo is about immediate healing. Pisces is about hospitalization, long-term plan. But Rahu does not want to focus on the long-term plan immediately. Rahu would want to acquire that Venusian energy. Now let me explain here. Have you heard the story of Samudra Manthan? Same thing is going to happen. Pisces is Samudra, ocean, and the churning will happen. And remember one thing, when the churning happened, both the Deva and the Asura had to come together. That is why Rahu, in spite of all its Asuri energy, will have to surrender at the will of Mahavishnu, Mahadev and Parabrahma, and will have to work with the Devas because of their own agenda. So the Samudra Manthan will happen, and both the vish, the poison, as well as the Amrit will come out. That means if you keep on working, if you keep doing the hard work, if you keep yourself focused, without greed, without trying to find shortcuts, without being desperate, if you are so aligned with the Saturnian energies, you will see that you will ultimately get the Amrit. But you know what the Asuras did? They tried to steal the Amrit. Then Swarbhanu, which was actually Rahu and Ketu, the Swarbhanu disguised itself as a Devata. Isn't that Rahu in Pisces? Rahu taking the shape of Jupiter, disguising as a Guru. So be very, very careful about the information that you receive about anything. A lot of cheating might happen throughout the world. Information warfare can happen throughout the world. You will have to keep your eyes and ears open. You will have to bring that practicality. And why I am saying this? Because Pisces is the place where Mercury goes debilitated. There is no logic. Remember, Ketu is already in the Virgo zodiac sign, trying to distract you to some other logic. So a logic will replace another logic, which will appear to be beautiful, which will appear to be correct. That is where a lot of people may be misguided during this time. But you will have to be grounded. Say, if you are convinced with a logic, give it some time. See if the logic works. If you immediately react to that logic, then there is a chance that it might be a mistake. Waiting it out is going to be one of the best remedy. Remember, Jupiter is retrograde during this time. Also, when Rahu is entering Pisces zodiac sign, Saturn, which is in Aquarius, will be stationary. It will be in retrograde station, because on 4th of November, Saturn will become direct. So Saturn is slowing down just before the direct motion, end of retrogression. And this Saturn will be aspecting Aries zodiac sign, breaking all the plans. And someone, if someone is trying to, aggravate someone, provoke someone, all the plans are going to break. So a lot of people will be awakened out of nowhere. You will see that you are getting data, information that is basically, you are caught by surprise. You would not understand what is happening. On a day-to-day level, maybe finances, maybe you thought the stock will go up and suddenly the stock falls. Remember, Pisces is also about expenses. Rahu will convince you to spend money because Rahu wants to acquire that Venus in a shortcut manner. Quick earning, quick income will not work. So you'll have to be careful. Anything that is sustainable will work. And it can be anything. Let's say someone goes to gym and wants to lose weight, but it is not a sustainable plan, then it won't happen. In fact, you will risk your life. If you want to go into a relationship and you are too fast, too much too soon will hurt you. Rahu will suddenly try to expedite its process, just like Rahu was desperate for the Amrit and he took the disguise of Devata and sat in the row. But because Venus at 27 degree is like Mahavishnu in the Shir Sagar, sleeping in the Shayya, protected by Sheshnag, and there is Ma Mahalakshmi at the feet of Mahavishnu. Mahalakshmi is the representation of Shukra, Venus, on a planetary scale. So, what will Rahu do? Rahu is a serpent. If Rahu is a serpent, a snake basically, a representation, reptilian in nature, all that reptilian nature gets dissolved. In fact, Rahu becomes devotional. See, the Sheshnag is getting devotional towards Vishnu. He has offered himself as the bed. That means the reptilian nature, the aggression, the passion suddenly vanishes. And because Mercury gets debilitated here, logic will not work. Forget about logic. Ketu is also distorting Mercurian energy right in front of Rahu. What is going to work then? Anyone who is working with true devotion, in spite of all the criticism, handling it nicely, peacefully, without falling in the trap of misinformation, who is quiet, who is focused, and who is isolated within, will become successful. That is why people who are doing sadhana, people who are doing meditation, people who are doing lakhs and lakhs of japa will become successful during this time, because Rahu is also a planet of mysticism. And when Rahu energies combines with Venus, which is basically the guru of Tantra, the tantric energies, I'm not talking about the negative Tantra, the positive tantric energies takes over, and this can also be an awakening of Kundalini. But as I said, initially Rahu will be all greed and all dark. So Rahu is going to do everything possible, every trick in the book to, gain maximum. But as soon as it crosses 27 degrees, it starts losing the strength. Initially, Rahu will be in Revati Nakshatra, then Rahu will go in Uttara Bhadrapada. So the moment Rahu goes in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, that is when Rahu reaches the philosophical state of mind. Because Pisces is also a sign of moksha, and moksha can only happen if your state of mind is in the samadhi state. Rahu will affect your state of mind. So initially, a lot of people will be hypnotized, because it is the nature of Rahu to hypnotize you with good words, certain plan, will make you believe something is right. It's all about illusion, right? And suddenly illusion will fade away, it will break, because Rahu will constantly lose energy. And remember, when Rahu is going in the Pisces, it is coming from the bottom. So immediately it will see is dark. What is the color of the base of ocean? Dark. So is the color of cosmos. And if I see Mahavishnu, we can't comprehend what is the color of Mahavishnu or the color of the Vaikuntha, because our eyes can only see a fraction of the visible spectrum. We don't even understand. So what we see is dark, because we can't understand, right? So it's like Rahu interacting with the dark matter and the dark force. So don't be surprised if you hear some technological growth and advancements in the field of dark matter, dark energy, new galaxies, astronomical success, people going to the moon, once again returning back to moon, new fuel being discovered, new technology which is more earth friendly and earth centric will come up. And all that was the illusion that was created by Rahu. AI, crypto will have to be refined, because this time when Rahu is approaching the Aquarius zodiac sign, right from the end of Pisces, Saturn is approaching Pisces. So Rahu has zero escape here. What is Rahu seeing is an approaching Saturn, and a very strong Saturn. And say, if Rahu has to create a loss, Rahu has to use 12th from itself. But that is under Vakra Drishti of Shani. Aries is under third aspect of Saturn until Saturn is in Aquarius zodiac sign. So Rahu has very less room to move. Therefore, those who will align with the energies of Pisces will convert themselves from sinner to saint. And very easily the spiritual energies will take over, and lot of spiritual seekers will come up. Lot of energies. People will become very sensitive to crystals. People will become very sensitive to energy therapies. They will become very sensitive to aura. They will know more about this. They will be more curious about this. A lot of people will grow spiritually, and that is a good thing. But then parallelly, Rahu being Rahu can also give rise to illusion of spirituality. And therefore Rahu, trying to take the shape of Jupiter, can bring in a guru who claims to be best but is not the best. So when you are seeing things, see through the prism what is happening behind the scene. Rahu in Pisces is also about naval vessels, because Rahu is the army in the code of planets. So naval fighting can be seen. Wars over naval region can be forced upon people. But you will also see that it will dissipate very quickly, or it will be a very slow cooked war. You know, an agenda which lasts for 20-30 years is more like a cold war, because Rahu will remain Rahu, right? No matter how much Rahu loses or changes its form and energy, the core principle will never change. Rahu will not become something else. Rahu will remain Rahu. And what you should do is you should start donating, especially food. And also donate words. Now what does that mean? Speak good. Speak positive. Because what happens is that when Rahu goes to Pisces and Ketu goes to Virgo, your consciousness may be disturbed heavily, and therefore you will find it much easier to choose bad words or pick up sides, judge people. And this is the results which will be in the first 10 degrees of the Rahu movement. That means from 30 to 20 degrees of Pisces zodiac sign, because it is going to affect the mind. Later on you will regret what you have said. Later on there will be repercussions. So better to be quiet when you don't know what to speak. It is better to accept your mistake and say sorry, there's nothing wrong in that. That will save relations, that will save marriages, that will save your career. And this is also the time when you would want to run away. There will be a weird feeling that, okay, I want to follow my passion. Again, be very practical. Be very practical, because this can be a wave of emotion and it can be a tsunami of emotions. Rahu is famous for that. But then, if you are grounded, if you are guided, and if you allow the Jupiter to take the natural course, let it become direct from January 2024. Let it move in the positive sense. Jupiter is in Bharani Nakshatra. It will become direct. It will aspect Libra, bringing equilibrium in the society, bringing balance. So all these wars that you are seeing may not last long in this form, but yeah, something that will be happening behind the scene will keep on happening, but that is the rule of the world. It has always been like this. Remember, this is a new cycle. It's a new era. One big change is now. Another big change will happen when Saturn will enter Aries zodiac sign. That will be a new beginning by the Saturn's definition. That will be a generational change. Rahu is also about technology that was hidden. Pisces is like ocean. It's like Akashic records. Everything is there, but we don't know how to figure. That is why Mercury becomes debilitated. It is confused. It's like, imagine electricity flowing through wires. That is Mercury in Virgo. Directed, defined, you know what to do, what will happen. But now put that wire in water. The entire water can be acting like a charged object, and someone going into that water from any direction will get shocked. Why? Because now ions and electrons are floating freely. They are directionless. Kind of electrolysis, but they are directionless. That is debilitated Mercury. But debilitated Mercury means imagination. So Rahu in Pisces will give great imagination powers, great philosophical approach, great tantric approach, and new innovation. The doors to new innovation will open that you have never seen, that the world has never seen before. Because Saturn will be in Aquarius for a very long time, till 2025, early 2025. So from now onwards till almost till 1.5 years, because Saturn will meet Rahu in Pisces, but at the very early degrees of Pisces. That means within 1.5 years, Saturn and Rahu will also meet. So this 1.5 years is very crucial. And then when Rahu goes to Aquarius, it will start its scientific development once again. But this time, it will be much better compared to what it was earlier. Jupiter will also support. So Rahu will once again try to create a new form of world. Now, what kind of society and world are we creating will be dependent on us. Medical achievement will also happen. Surgery, solution or vaccine or medicine to incurable diseases might also come during this time. Rahu in Pisces can also be a kind of an aura field where someone is discovering aliens, conspiracy theory, aliens. And Rahu in this case is also your feet. So take care of your feet during this time. Donate shoes. Don't bring dirty shoes inside your home. Keep your house clean. And try to pray to Ma Mahalakshmi. See, feet is the end of something, but it is also the beginning of something. For Aries to execute something, Pisces must prepare basically Pisces is the ingredient. If you want to cook, say a curry or a vegetable, you have to bring the vegetable, cut it into pieces, bring the ingredients, and then the cooking process starts. So Pisces, and for buying the ingredient, you have to spend money. So first comes the expense, then comes the result. And this is true for all houses. For second house, the first house must create, because it is the 12th. So if you see, the 12th house is not basically loss. It is basically exchange of energy, transfer of energy. And when Rahu goes in this house, what are you transferring? What energy are you sharing? Becomes extremely important, because that is what will decide and define your fate. And wherever is your Pisces in your house, in your kundli, you must keep that part of kundli very clean, decluttered and detoxified. Say if it is your third house, keep your hands clean and keep your feet clean. Be very careful in your non-verbal communication. If Pisces is in your ninth house, clean your temples, visit temples, read more scriptures, drop all the inhibitions and be open to universal knowledge. Rahu in Pisces can also, on a negative side, create an illusion of spirituality, create an illusion of success. Will make you believe that you are successful. Will make you take greater plans and the greater leap. And if you take an impractical leap, you are bound to fall. You can't run on the ocean, right? You must need a suitable vehicle. Maybe a ship, maybe a submarine. So you need that suitable technology. So when you are taking the step, understand that does not matter what you think or what you can plan. You need to understand the circumstance and territory in which you are in. Basically the desh, kal, patra, paristhiti, the kind of body that you are in, the kind of age that you are in, the kind of circumstance, the family, the financial status, and you have to work accordingly. If Rahu is a shapeshifter, you become that person who is more adaptive in nature. Take the positive quality of the planet. Why to even think about the negative quality? Gambling, alcohol abuse, substance abuse are only going to create more and more trouble throughout the world, because 12th house is also the place where you lose your consciousness, right? If you want to wake up refreshed with energy like Aries, right? You are waking up refreshed, you need to sleep. You need to drop your consciousness. That is why Pisces on a very mundane level can also represent bed, sleep, where you are very less active. So Rahu will be that energy that will work on a very subtle level. You won't be able to feel it. It is working in the background. It is like a serpent inside the ocean. You won't be able to see, but it is there. It exists. So don't underestimate the undercurrents of the negative energy. Continuous detoxification is necessary. Right amount of sleep will give you right health. Also, one of the counter to this is great devotion. If you don't know anything, just pray to Bhagwan Narayan or Mahashiv or Ma Bhagavati, whomsoever you want to pray. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And if you chant 5 lakh, 10 lakh count, full of devotion, nothing asked, no questions asked. Why you're doing? Because you are asked to do. You're doing it for the devotion, for the love of God. Then you are utilizing the Rahu, which is basically the force that can breach barriers and dimension, so that the gods listen to you. They listen through your dreams. You will get positive experiences, positive energy. Otherwise, it will turn out into a nightmare. You will always be worried. Especially people with afflicted moon and Rahu and Ketu moon conjunction will always be thinking about something as if they are on the defensive. Something is about to go wrong. But nothing might go wrong. Totally depends upon all the 9 planets in the transit and in your birth chart. But assumptions are assumptions. So if you decide in your life on the basis of assumptions, you fall on the ground. But if you are practical, and also one more thing I would like to add. Every one of us are in the same boat. All of us, you, me, everyone. So no one is above each other. But if we come together and help each other, see the bigger and the broader picture, learn about the past, and while you learn from the past, you see the future, and you focus on your roots. Remember, Rahu is going to the depth of the ocean. That means you should go to the depth of your life, of your culture, and find your roots and then pray to Bhagwan Mahavishnu as if you have reached Vaikuntha. See, when Rahu is in Pisces, it is like a mad love towards the divine. It's like Meera praying to Krishna. There is a simple mantra, Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Just simply chant. Leave everything behind, as if God will take care. If you have that kind of devotion, if you carry that kind of zeal and energy, you will see this Rahu blessing you with the secrets. If someone has to discover secrets from the depth of the ocean, it's Rahu. Otherwise, it's all black. It's all dark. It's all dark force and dark matter. You won't see anything. As if you have gone into the cosmos. Everything is dark. And Rahu is that haunting force that is telling you that you are directionless. This fear will come out from within. Who will help you? The creator who has created this architecture. Directly go to the boss. Directly go to the one who is the supreme. And simply chant Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And if you simply chant Om, you go into the Shunya. When Rahu goes into Pisces, it's like understanding zero, understanding Shunya. And on a mundane level, donate food, donate items, cleanse your body, cleanse your mind, detoxify, use energy therapies, energy healing, crystals, number therapy, numerology, astrology, all sorts of secret arts. And if you know Tantra, if you have a guru mantra, chant that guru mantra. All these things will help you in the longer run. We'll come up with another video on Ketu. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, Namaste.